Look at this
Hello.
new design. Oh my goodness.
Scenes. Absolute scenes.
We are doing something very different than what we planned, obviously. We were going to just do a podcast show, but they decided to go the extra time, so we're going to sit and react to extra time, chat about the game so far. I would love to hear from you guys on this new layout. This is a new thing. I'm too excited about it. I'm honestly too excited. A ferocious game.
Yeah, it's been an interesting game. I don't think United have been at their best. I don't think Villarreal have been at their best. But it's been what it is.
Talk about getting stuck in. The tackles have been deep. That's the only way I can put it. They've certainly been leaving the boot in. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. And so if you're watching along with us now on Facebook or YouTube, hopefully we can react along similar times to you. At the moment, in my game, I'm at 91.15, watching on YouTube on BT Sports coverage. So hopefully you are on the same sort of time and we won't be giving you any spoilers as you watch along. It's exciting to be doing this live, Joe, and having a game to watch. Although apologies to anyone, we might be watching slightly off screen, obviously, because our cameras are here and our screens are there. So apologies. Rashford now on the ball, United on the attack. United on the attack has kind of been the general gist of this game, Joe.
Yeah, it's been probably very one-sided. In many ways, I think second half was one team really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
United really frustrated me in the first half. United had a lot of the ball, but their finishing product or their end product was so bad.
Yeah,
they could when they got into the box or they got around the box, all of their passes were misplaced. They just were not doing it. They just did not seem to click in the final third, and so it's been really frustrating to watch. Rashford's been in good positions, Cavani's been in good positions, Wan-Bissaka as well, and yet they haven't been able to actually do much. And their goal came from quite a fortunate scenario.
They did. I said to you just before we came on, I think Bruno Fernandes looks bang average.
He's really frustrated me tonight because I think he's been focusing too much on trying to win free kicks and penalties rather than just actually getting on with it. But whenever there's a potential penalty in the first half, Fernandes was raging. He picked up the ball and walked over to the ref as if I'm ready to take the penalty. Here we go. But it wasn't a penalty, and he was raging afterwards. And he seems to have taken all of this attention that's come his way since coming to United. He seems to have really let it go to his head. And I think he is now an arrogant player who is just hasn't showed up in big games, hasn't showed up when he's needed to at times, but thinks the absolute world of himself. He's like Cristiano Ronaldo. He's like Cristiano Ronaldo, but all of the worst bits.
Yeah, fair. I get that. This is the United team I predicted earlier on. Not that I haven't predicted it publicly, but
sure, I believe you.
But this is the team that I thought Ollie would put out.
Yes, I think it makes sense. I think you can't really start Pogba. I don't think out left in this game with Fred in the middle.
No.
And unfortunately Maguire didn't train, so he's not going to be
made
playing.
Any subs? They haven't made any subs, have they?
I'm not too sure. Let me get some of the
Greenwood, Rashford. Yeah, they haven't made any subs.
I think Eddie Capu's been unfairly targeted almost by United. It's tactical, so fair enough. But Villarreal have made 5 subs, so they're allowed 1 more, and United haven't made a single sub. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about Solskjaer's faith in his bench?
Oh. Well, McSauce here has a 8.2 rating, which is he actually has played quite well in my opinion.
Yeah. McTominay's been one of the best players on the pitch. I think Luke Shaw also has played really well. He's been the only one really going forward that's looked dangerous enough. Rashford, in my opinion, has looked really bad. Greenwood hasn't looked great. Fernandes hasn't looked great. Cavani's doing what Cavani does, and I think he's playing relatively well. But Luke Shaw getting down that left has actually given them a few avenues to work towards. Lindelof and Bailly have done a decent enough job at the back. I think they've been okay. They do miss Harry Maguire, though. I think defensively,
totally.
from the goal that Villarreal scored, I think Maguire helps to shore up that defence a little bit and potentially prevents that from happening.
Cavani's been excellent, I think.
Yeah.
Again, Greenwood and Greenwood and Rashford haven't done an awful lot. They've good runs.
No.
I think Luke Shaw's played a good game. But this is exactly what we thought was going to happen. Villarreal have sat back for most of the game, invited United onto them. Possession, it's like 65-35 or something, or close to that anyway. Certainly it wasn't full time. And it's been the second half was certainly all United, essentially. First half was a lot more even. In fact, Villarreal probably had the better of a lot of the exchanges in the first half. But yeah, second half United came out and just did their thing. And Adam makes a great point here. Rashford missed an absolute sitter, even if Bruno was offside. That should have been in the net. And, yep, you're so right.
Absolutely, so Adam. You're spot on there. Terrible from Rashford. Really bad. I thought he should have done so much better, and just couldn't do anything with it. Like, he was raging at himself. You could tell. And it brings up another debate. Obviously, Gareth Southgate has released his 33-man squad. And based on the last 6 months, Rashford should not be going to the Euros.
I think, I don't think he should either, but he has been playing with an injury, so
exactly.
I think United wouldn't mind if he was given the summer off. Obviously, as an individual player, he probably has ambitions to go to the Euros. But I think you could let him. You give him a break over the summer, because I don't know how much he adds to that England side right now. I was actually talking with other of my housemates about the 33. I think there's a debate there as to who will he drop, which 7 players will he drop. I think Ben White's probably an obvious one, and one of the keepers will have to go. It'll either be Ramsdale or Johnson will go.
Yeah, I don't think Ramsdale goes. I don't think Ben White goes, and I don't think one of the right back goes, but I don't know which right back.
How many right backs? Who were the right backs did he choose?
So he's got Trippier, Trent, James, and Walker. Walker stays, I think, because of his versatility.
Walker stay. It could be Trent. It legitimately could be Trent, because
it could be.
Walker and Reece James can both play centre back if they need to.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a poor miss there from Villarreal. I think I'm about 10 seconds behind you.
That's all right.
That would explain it. It was Moreno. I would explain it.
What time are you at?
Just past 98:30.
Okay. Give us a shout when you get to 98:50.
Okay, I will let you know.
We can sync up, and hopefully anybody else that's listening can sync up to 98:50.
3, 2, now.
Great. There we are. Same time.
I got the timing completely wrong there.
3, now.
3, 2, now.
But yes, one of those right backs doesn't go. I think one of the strikers probably doesn't go, considering you've got the likes of Sterling or Rashford who could potentially play striker. I think Rashford goes. I don't think he should. But I think probably Ollie Watkins misses out. And I think some of the wide, potentially Bukayo Saka, I don't think goes either.
Yep.
Ooh. Good chance for Villarreal there. Alsace should be doing better with that.
They've been dominating this first half of extra time.
Absolutely.
On
First
comes
sub
Fred.
for United.
Greenwood's coming off. So we're firming up. We're going for penalties. We're going for penalties.
Well, no, I
Oh,
think he's going back to his tried and trusted now.
drama.
Ollie with Pogba will go out left, and that'll give them a bit more creativity slightly further forward, I think. Greenwood has been a passenger in this game, hasn't done an awful lot. And again, another player. I don't think Greenwood goes to the Euros either, because if you're hypothetically, if you're starting Sancho and Foden or Sterling and Foden, you're more likely to bring on Rashford and Sancho or
Yep.
Calvert-Lewin than you
Yep.
are to bring on Greenwood for the last 20 minutes if you need a goal, because I think they have a bigger impact. But there's a whole other debate we can chat about the Euro squads another time. But Francis Coquelin, former Arsenal man in here,
You
could
ripped him
actually win
apart
some
last week
silverware.
or a couple weeks ago.
Sorry?
You ripped him apart a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
Well, you didn't
I
rip him
did.
apart. You just said. I made a comment like, what did I say? Something about Villarreal being like a decent enough side or something, and you were like, they're not that decent if they've got Francis Coquelin in the midfield. Essentially, was your comment.
Yeah, I agree with myself in the past. Here we have a promising free kick position, not too dissimilar to the goal they scored in the first half. Slightly closer though, a harder angle to whip in. Comes.
Oh, De Gea
Tipped
flaps at
over.
that, doesn't he?
I think De Gea's had a bad game.
I think he hasn't much to do though, as part of it as well.
But when he's been called upon, I think he's done poorly. There was a few moments in the first half, his distribution was terrible. Like he kicked the ball straight to Villarreal a couple of times, and I was not impressed at all. If you are watching, feel free to drop a wee comment. Any questions, any thoughts about the game, drop them into the YouTube, Facebook comments. We'd love to chat to you and respond, and let us know you're watching. Or just
What are your
feel free
thoughts
to
on
watch.
the new? What are your thoughts on the new layout? Oh,
Absolutely. All the things about us is what we want questions about. Nothing to do with football. Oh, quite a good break here. Oh, easily dealt with by the defence.
Adam says he looks like he's trying too much to keep the position. I'm trying to work out who he means.
I
Coquelin?
think De Gea,
De Gea?
as in to try and
Oh, yeah.
keep out Dean Henderson. I think you're right. I think he almost feels a pressure with that. If I'm United, I think I would try and get rid of De Gea. Realistically, how many more seasons does he have? Maybe 5 or 6, but realistically, Dean Henderson has like 12.
I think part of it is they probably won't make money off him. And if they kept him, they won't get the same amount of money in the next 2 years as they would now.
Yeah,
And you have Dean Henderson who's played multiple Premier League games now and has looked relatively comfortable.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you do have a starting goalkeeper there in Dean Henderson as well. And I
Yeah.
think like De Gea might not have the same ambition at United anymore either. He's probably done a lot at United, and maybe he's looking for a fresh challenge. So it could work okay. But if he
Yeah.
wants to stay, he wants to stay. At the end of the day, you can't.
Yeah. I think if
Really.
De Gea wants to leave, he's going to go back to Spain.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
I don't see anybody in Spain needing him,
Hmm.
and so that's probably another issue in itself. Like Ter Stegen looks set to stay, although there's rumors of him leaving potentially to make way for Donnarumma at Barca.
That's right,
Who's
because he's not a free agent.
free agent, yeah. Courtois is staying exactly where he is, and Oblak, unless somebody comes in big for Oblak. But I don't even know who would come in big for him. They only like all the big six in the Premier League have good goalkeepers. Leicester even have a good goalkeeper, unless Everton made an unbelievable bid for Jan Oblak, but I don't think he would go. So Part of me wouldn't be surprised to see Burnley sign Jan Oblak just because they love a good goalkeeper. And Burnley probably are the Premier League team that play most similarly to Atletico Madrid. So
Yeah, it's true.
classic 4-4-2.
I think this could be. I think this might go to penalties.
I'm not sure. I think there's potential to bring on a player like Diallo or some other young players. Oh, miles off, surely. Bring on a few players, maybe like a Van der Beek, and get a few fresh legs on. Villarreal only have one sub left, whereas United have 5 they could still make.
Imagine they just like friggin' brought
Just
all the
went for it.
reinforcements.
Who would they bring on? They bring on Alex Telles might not be a bad shout to bring on, but again, Shaw's played well. Van der Beek, Dan James, and Diallo could be decent subs to bring on for pace, but then you don't really back them to score penalties, I don't think.
It's a big debate though. It is. Sure,
I
this will be
just think Rashford looks so average.
he hasn't looked his best in a long time. I don't think.
No, he really hasn't.
Um,
Love that from
that's probably
Lindelof
because
there,
he's carrying that
Bernard. Hurry
injury.
up.
I don't
Sorry?
know. It's probably because he's been carrying that injury. And that's half
Yeah.
time of extra time. While it's a break, we talk briefly about the state of United's defence for that for Villarreal's goal. We've got the photo here for people to have a look at. So Villarreal's goal came from a set piece. This was the state of United's defence. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 United players there, marking 4 Villarreal players, and Villarreal still score. What is that about? What is that about?
I think Moreno deserves some credit for his movement. He runs in between a couple of players to get in front of one centre back. And I think he's done well there to get in the right position. The ball in is superb. But when you're playing such a high line, you need to be ready for that. And United just weren't. I think Maguire in that team changes it entirely, that back line. But yeah, not well set up. And it's kind of similar with Solskjaer. They don't keep clean sheets. 1 in their last 10. It's not a very good turnaround. So I think Solskjaer's done a decent enough job to get these players to play relatively well, but defensively still pretty poor. Because personnel is not the issue, I don't think.
Personnel at the back is an issue for me at United.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think they could do with a world-class centre back, to be honest.
Yeah. Adam puts in a great comment there saying the other player for Villarreal did a good job at blocking.
Hot takes tonight.
Absolutely. I think you're right there. I don't think Villarreal have actually done really well in their set piece there. But like if you look at United, their left and their right backs are great. Really good. But yeah, Harry Maguire needs to be in there. And I think Lindelof's all right beside Harry Maguire. It's not bad. And the keeper's all right. And McTominay's all right. And Fred's all right sitting in front. So I'm not sure.
But the problem is that you're saying all right for all those players and not great. And I think that's where United fans will be like, we need great players in there rather than all right players.
Yes.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like I think if I was United right now, I'd be prioritising a centre back over Sancho, or Haaland, because like Cavani you've got for a year. Yeah, I just feel like at the back they're a bit weak.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I just think like if you had to prioritize, like you can't sign everyone at the same time, and this is we kind of talked about it Spurs on Sunday about how they have like, you know, if Kane goes, we're going to like to hire a whole new squad. But like with United, you've got to prioritize where your money goes, and I think a lot of it depends on if Pogba stays or not. Ooh. Adam here says a replacement for Lindelof would be good for them, but I hope they don't get one because it could change them to a good team, from a good team to world class. I think they are one step away. If their current outfit stays, if Pogba stays, for example, He has another year left, I think, on his contract, so he probably will stay to run out his contract.
Yeah.
But
there's not many teams at the moment either buying players for an awful lot of money, and I think that'll carry on. I think players won't go for big money at the moment just because clubs don't seem to have it too much. A lot of free transfers. You look at some of the free transfers available this summer, it's wild. Aguero, Depay, Wijnaldum, Eric Garcia, Donnarumma. Quite a few really good players. Sorry? Most of which will go to Barcelona.
Most of them will go to Barcelona, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sure there are more out there that aren't linked to Barcelona, so I just haven't heard of them. But I guess we'll see. For anyone watching again, we're at 107.07 as I said that. So we are there in the stream 107.15 now. If you're watching along, sync up so we don't spoil anything for you.
We don't spoil anything for us.
Exactly. Europa League final in Gdansk, 1-1 in extra time. Joe and I are here with the live reactions. Ramos is also one. Completely forgot about Ramos. A lot of talks about him potentially staying. If he was to leave, where might he go? He could also be linked to Barca. Do you know what? I take that all day, every day. He's a fantastic player who would really help Barcelona out a lot. But I think he's more likely to go somewhere like PSG to play alongside Marquinhos. Could be a really good.
That'll be a good centre back. I'm kind of surprised by how defensively United played that first half of extra time.
Yeah.
Because they were all over Villarreal in that second half. Sorry,
they were in the first half of normal time. I was really impressed with Villarreal's pressing game. Thought they knew that Man United's passing weren't going to be that good. It wasn't going to be that good. Sorry, and so they pressed really well and made United make mistakes. And as a result, I think they got rewards for it. Oh, a ball over the top. Oh, keeper does well down to save that. That was an awkward one with the defender and with Rashford right there. Oh, Rashford's limping.
Hurt again. I think that's about the 8th time I've seen him limp during this game.
That could be him subbed off potentially. I think it would make sense.
Going for penalties.
Yeah, it would be helpful, but I think you can't really risk it.
I think the worry for me is that penalties is Villarreal's best shot at winning this cup. And Andy, congrats! What a great comment that is. It's as if you live with Luke.
Shocking. Adam saying they've run out of steam, which you'd expect from a team that doesn't make subs. Absolutely. They've got 5 subs available. Get Rashford off, get Dan James on, get Amad Diallo on. Well, yeah, there's James on the touchline. James will inject this game with pace. He's not amazing technically. He reminds me of Sadio Mane at Southampton, Dan James, back when he was kind of just raw pace and hadn't quite what was I even trying to say there? Which hasn't quite got his technical ability down to a T. Rashford going off it's unfortunate news for United. Well, is it actually? No, it's not. He's been bad, so it's not unfortunate news for United, but it is unfortunate for England fans potentially. So we've got Dan James coming on here and Tuanzebe.
Yeah.
A random one. I don't know who Tuanzebe. Maybe for Bailly because he's on a yellow.
Maybe.
I'm not sure who Tuanzebe will come on for, but I guess we will see. Villarreal with some possession, lump it long. Story of Villarreal since the 30th minute.
This hasn't been as boring a game as I thought it was going to be, though. No. I thought we were going to get a 0-0.
Oh, United have to see when United get the ball. Villarreal do so well at regrouping. With that flat 4-4-2, do you know there's a reason Atletico were able to win the league this season with that formation? It's when it's done well. You know, there's a reason that there's a magazine named after it. You know, and it's the most worldwide, most world-renowned formation. You know.
Yeah.
Here we go. Villarreal on the attack.
Oh, well done, Scott McTominay.
Very well done from Scott McTominay.
Mixed sauce.
Somebody who's going to do very well at the Euros for Scotland, could potentially, lead them very comprehensively, alongside some decent enough players.
Scotland have a decent enough squad, but
well, Adam, there's still 9 minutes to go, or 8 minutes to go. United do love to score in quick succession. Look at the Roma game.
True. I think I do feel like the lack of substitutions shows Solskjaer's managerial immaturity.
Yes.
Because it wasn't a game where we need to keep this team on to ensure that we don't lose. Or you certainly shouldn't have that mindset anyway.
No. Yeah, because the argument's made that you don't make subs so that you don't ruin the cohesion. But when you're playing with very little cohesion, that doesn't really apply.
In a game that's been very scrappy. What?
Villarreal have the ball in the box. That was terrible from... Was that Coughlin? No, maybe not.
Someone was rolling about in the ground. Who's that rolling about? Is that Scott McTominay?
Villarreal on the attack, but again...
Get it out!
The ref stopping the play now for the players.
Cavani's giving him some of the Uruguayan spice. He's going to bite him like Suarez.
There's Bruno Fernandes with his worst qualities again.
No, but he's a captain. He has to do that.
It looked like Cavani there just said, "Me? What about him?" and pointed at Bruno Fernandes.
That's all I want to look up. I was going to look up because this game's felt very scrappy, right? There's been a lot of fouls, and I'll tell you how many there have been. Let me see. There's been 25 fouls in this game. So we're not short on the illegal tackles.
Interestingly enough, though, 15 of those coming from United.
Ref.
Ooh, is that a handball from Fred?
Ooh.
You can see that given.
But surely that's a foul on McTominay, though, before it even goes to a penalty.
Well, they would have to assess that.
He shouldered him directly in the face, off the ball.
It'd be a red in rugby anyway.
I'll tell you, it would be. So if you're going to if they do give a penalty, that's a disgrace. That's a joke.
Well, when they say potential penalty check, what they check is they check the penalty, and they then check, is there any reason why we can't give that in the lead up to the penalty? And that would be a prime example of not being able to give it because of the lead up.
I mean, that is
a handball.
That's a handball.
Blatant. The hand is clearly away from the body. It's not really in a natural... It's in a natural position, but in the game of football, it's not.
It's prevented the ball from going towards the net.
It has to be a free kick, I think, to United.
I think you haven't given... I think, they check over.
Here we go. Substitutions. Tuanzebe on.
Who's 3? Oh, Eric Bailly. You were right.
Eric Bailly's 3.
Do you play football?
The better of the two centre-backs, I think, tonight for United, but on a yellow. So it would make sense. And then Dan James.
Give you his individual stats here. Clearances 3, 1 blocked shots, 2 interceptions, only lost the ball 5 times, won 3 of his 5 aerial duels, 94% passing accuracy, 3 long balls accurate out of 4. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Lindelof stats for him. Again, 3 out of 5 aerial duels, 1. Lost the ball 10 times. 92% passing accuracy. 2 long balls or 6 again. Decent. Nothing special, but not terrible either. Not terrible.
Interesting that Dan James has just come on for Paul Pogba.
Pogba not be a penalty taker. So Rashford's still playing.
Pogba arguably has had a much better game than Rashford.
Andy switched.
Thanks, Andy. Welcome to YouTube. But yes, Pogba's off. He's had a good game, but unless for these last 4 or 5 minutes, Solskjaer's thinking let's go more classic wing play. Let's get Rashford and Dan James either side and just get the ball and run.
They haven't done anything during extra time. United, like one shot in the first half of extra time, no shots in the second half. And let's see what else here. Less possession overall in extra time. Yeah, United have been in the back foot in extra time, which is interesting.
Raul Albiol is playing like an experienced centre back. He's playing very well.
A well-groomed man.
A well-groomed man indeed, but a well-trained defender as well. Emery will be really pleased, I'm sure, to see him put in such a professional performance when it's been needed, as the slowest man potentially in the world, but a very defensively aware player at the same time. Oh, Rashford's done terribly again there.
Hands up,
Luke Shaw's done well to recover. And now Bruno Fernandes.
I have to say. If you were Gareth Southgate watching this game, you'd be pretty delighted with his performance in terms of playing at a high level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody's wrecked, as you would be after 117 minutes.
Luke Shaw's kicked in the crotch.
We all know how that feels.
We do. Oh, no, it's just...
He's been kneed in the belly.
He's trying to feel a knee. Game's gone, eh? Game's gone. Not overly impressed by the extra time performances by other teams.
Very, very cagey, as you'd expect, of course, and in these types of games.
I'm just seeing a exclusive breaking news tweet from Fabrizio Romano, a very reliable source within the footballing world, that Zinedine Zidane has decided to leave Real Madrid with immediate effect.
No way.
If that is true, that is big news, but also news that we've kind of seen coming for a while now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about him potentially leaving. Yes, other sources are confirming that Zidane apparently is leaving.
Wow, that's flipping nuts. There we go. Conte's going to Madrid then?
Conte or Allegri.
Yeah,
I kind of
you do mention him a lot.
Kind of hope it's Allegri, because there's a picture of Allegri with Mourinho and Ancelotti and Zidane, and everyone was like, "This picture would be legendary if he goes to Real Madrid now."
Yeah,
seems to be holding his wrist more, Shaw, because he landed on it. Yeah, that's fair. Could be a wrist injury, which for a footballer is not the end of the world. Which England fans will be glad to hear, although at least they have Ben Chilwell in the event of an injury.
Nuno.
I can't imagine.
No, I think he might be going to Portugal, or something like that. I don't know if I could see him going to Real Madrid. Oh no, Fred's snuffed it. This is nuts.
As we approach penalties potentially, some statistics for you.
Yes, hit me up.
David De Gea has conceded his last 25 penalties. Last saving one in April 2019. Ooh. Or 2016, sorry. 2016, I should say. That's 5 years ago.
That's a long time.
Whereas Dean Henderson, in his last 17 penalties, has saved 8. So he saved 8 and conceded 9 in his last 17 penalties, which is a considerably better record than De Gea. So could we see a Dean Henderson sub, a very Louis Van Gaal bringing on Tim Krul type sub? Could we see it happen? I don't think so. Then again, Solskjaer has a ridiculous number of subs he could still make. So
it looks like he's bringing on Tellez here, and who's the other one? There's Tellez and someone else down on the touchline there.
It's too little, too late.
Juan Mata. Juan Mata.
Far too little, far too late. But
No,
I
but it's
guess
just
he
for the
backs
penalties.
them to take
Just for the
penalties.
penalties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still, like you.
Man,
This is where a good manager makes their money in a final like this. When you have three players attacking wise that aren't performing in Greenwood, Rashford, and Fernandez, you need to have the balls to take them off.
yep.
You need to have the balls to take off those players if they're not playing well for some other players who might play well. Rashford, I think Fernandez, you could argue, should stay on, especially for penalties. I kind of hope he misses his penalty there. But Rashford definitely should have come off. Now here we go. Here's a couple of changes. Who's coming
Who's
off?
he going to bring off? McSauce?
Scott McTominay. Fair enough for penalties.
Interesting.
Had a really good game, but probably not a penalty taker. And Juan Mata would be. And who else is Wan-Bissaka coming off?
Makes
Fair
sense.
enough.
Makes sense.
For Alex Telles. Interesting.
Adam says if they lose this, do you think Ollie out? I'm going to say a swift no. Ollie's closed the gap from being 33 points behind top of the league to just 12 with essentially the same group of players. So he's done a very good job this season. Let's not forget they went unbeaten away from home this season, which is a fantastic achievement. Just their home form wasn't that great. I think, given the resources that he has, Ollie's actually done a very good job. They've had a better season than Liverpool have. You don't see Klopp going. They've had a better season than a lot of teams. Even getting the Europa League final, yes, not. Admittedly, they got there because they failed to beat Leipzig and Istanbul, but I don't. It's not a fantastic season, but if they were to win this, it would actually be a pretty decent season all in all. Losing it again, if they lose it, everyone will question the lack of subs. I think if they win on penalties, they won't talk about that. In fact, they probably will. Talksport will talk about it tomorrow. Don't you worry. But I think what we'll see is a discussion on Emery's handling of this game and Solskjaer's handling, and they've been two very different things.
Absolutely. Emery's gone about it in a much more controlled manner. Solskjaer's panicked, I think, a little bit. And showed his lack of final experience. Emery's obviously won this competition several times. Here we go. Penalties on the horizon. Always exciting, always nerve-wracking. I'm glad I'm a neutral because I could not be doing this. Lovely stuff. Who's your penalty taker for United, do you think?
The final one?
First, what do you think the order will be?
Let me think. I think I'm surprised they brought off Pogba. I thought Pogba would take a penalty, but I think so. Bruno will probably go. You want a competent penalty taker at the start and at the end.
I think Cavani could go first.
I think, and I think Juan Mata's been brought on specifically to take a penalty. So I think we'll see Juan Mata take a penalty, perhaps near the start. They do have a decent enough lineup of players for penalties. Like if Rashford's still there, he'll take a penalty. Your first five, not in any particular order, will be Bruno. So it'll be Bruno, Rashford, Mata, Fernandez, and
Telles.
Cavani. I think Cavani takes a penalty before Telles does.
Did you not repeat somebody there?
No, I said Rashford, Bruno, Mata, Cavani, and
I'm pretty sure you said Bruno and then Fernandez.
Oh.
Or something like that.
Rashford? I didn't say Rashford.
You are terrible at naming 5 different players.
My brain's dead. The game's gone.
Cavani takes, Mata takes, Fernandez takes, Rashford takes. other than that, don't see Dan James taking.
De
Don't
Gea
see Fred
takes.
taking.
Uh,
I think Tellez could take.
Adams, I think he is joking about us. I think it says Tuanzebe. There's no way he actually thinks
Tuanzebe's a good
Tuanzebe.
player. Good player. Well, I guess we will see. In the
I love
meantime,
it. First time we've got a penalty shootout. Get in.
absolutely. McTominay had a cracking game, all in all. Deserves some credit, regardless
Yep.
of what this game ends out to be in terms of result. I can imagine Bruno Fernandes is like, as I said earlier, all of the worst parts of Cristiano Ronaldo. He'll be thinking, I want to take fifth. I want to get all the glory. And I would love it if they don't make it to him. I would love it if they don't get a penalty and then he doesn't get to take one. He will be raging.
So who do you think's going to win? I know it's a coin toss, but who do you think's going to win?
I think United have a bit more big game experience.
Why would you take off best player who's definitely not on yellow and had an injury at the start of the week? He has to be on for pens. That's Pogba. Yeah, I'm surprised at Pogba coming off. I wonder, is Pogba not confident on the penalties? I don't know.
I don't think he is. I
Um,
think he took penalties because he was Paul Pogba, but
mm,
he never necessarily scored them.
Look at Emery go.
Villarreal have team spirit.
See, this is a far bigger deal for Villarreal than as United. That's in the back
Yeah.
of my head. But
Yeah.
so who are we officially saying then? What are we officially saying?
I think United will pull through.
Okay,
I think they have more experience in big games.
I think I'm gonna say Villarreal.
Interesting.
That's what I want to say.
I just can't see Alberto Moreno scoring. Well, the countdown's on. Looks like Villarreal are taking first.
I don't know. He took him off because he'll still be running up next week.
Absolutely. He loves his wee stutters. Gerard Moreno taking the first penalty.
Oh my!
30 goals in all competitions this season for Moreno. He's had a very good season.
So I wonder, did they win the toss because the Villarreal won the toss because it's up in front of the Villarreal fans?
Must have done.
Would you say taking second's an advantage
I
or
think
taking
taking
first?
first is an advantage.
Right, here we go. First penalty.
First penalty, Moreno up he steps, and
Oh,
it's calm, collected.
just pedals it in. Just
You
pedals it
can
in.
tell he scored 30 goals all season. Do you know? You
Mm.
can tell he's had a good season of finishing.
High on confidence.
Absolutely. De Gea makes it 26 penalties without a save.
Do you count these? Do you count these? Do you count penalty
I
shootouts?
don't know. I don't know if you do. Probably. You probably do. But you don't count these as a goal, do you? So
No. While I'm at it first, I called it. You love to see it.
he's got the experience. World Cup winner.
Bet he misses.
Up he comes. And it's
Oh,
a
great
lovely
penalty.
penalty.
Great
A
penalty.
really nice penalty. Keeper
Really
went the
nice.
right way, but it just had too much on it, too much precision. Should the keeper have saved it? I'm not too sure. I'd love
Good
to
to
see a
see United
replay.
legend there, Lee Grant, celebrating. Fair
Oof.
play. Fair
Stoke City legend Lee Grant, indeed.
play.
What a player. He was our player of the season a few years ago.
We'll see.
Yeah, legit. Here we go.
After the game finishes, we'll chat. We'll do a mini podcast type thing, but it won't actually go as a podcast. We're going to talk about this game more in full, and then we'll also talk about Champions League final on Saturday.
Rabba. Oh, Rabba puts it in. Keeper
Straight down the
goes.
middle. Me and my
Keeper
dad
goes.
always say keepers should just not move because they'll save more than if they did move.
I don't know if that's true. On FIFA, yes, but it's kind of
Straight
to
down
the
the
right.
middle.
To the left, sorry. If you're, depends what way you're looking, I guess.
Have it
Who's
in.
up next for
Well,
United? Here we have number 27, Alex Tellez.
Well, Adam, as Luke likes to point out, he hasn't saved a penalty since 2016. So,
Interesting that the two players he brought on are taking first.
Fresh legs. I think he misses. He doesn't look like he wants it.
Small run or small. Oh, lovely!
Oh, nice.
All the penalties going to that side so far.
Oh, he loves that. He loves that. He's getting very, very hyped up.
Good decision to bring him on. Clearly, he's done well. Confident. He nearly slipped. He knows it too. He knows it. Who have we got next for Villarreal? Oh, Fred loves it too. He's doing the shearer.
Well, as you know, XG give penalty ratings 0.7, so they say about 70% of all penalties tend to go in.
Alcacer
steps up.
Oh, that is dreadful.
That's poor.
That is so bad from De Gea.
That's shocking. That's lost you out of the Europa League. IMO.
That is so bad from De Gea. Oh, he literally gets a hand to it.
Oh, nah.
That's super.
Oh, dear. Wasn't even that kind of pen. Oof. Who's up now? Bruno Fernandes.
Is Bruno Fernandes now?
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, but I hope he misses.
Has he missed a penalty this season? Yeah, he probably has.
Probably, surely. I'm not sure. Here we go. Oh, that's exactly the same
again. Oh my goodness.
Exactly the same as the last one. Keeper should be doing better with that.
Everybody's going the same way.
Nobody backs himself.
Not a good Bruno Fernandes penalty, I'll tell you that for a fact.
It's a terrible Bruno Fernandes penalty.
He hasn't missed a penalty this season. Adam, thank you for letting us know.
Thank you, StattoJoe Adam, on the job.
My stream's flipping died.
Oh dear.
No. No. Oh, my Chromecast just turned off. Right.
And there's another penalty goal there by number 18, Alberto Moreno.
Seriously?
I did not think Alberto Moreno would be scoring a penalty in the Europa League final.
Here we are.
Villarreal holding the lead now. The ball is in United's court.
Marcus Rashford. Am I slightly ahead of you now? No.
I'm not sure, but here he comes. Marcus Rashford standing on the edge of the box. He steps. Oh, steps indeed. And there it is.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Consistently consistent.
All penalties average.
Thus far, going to the left-hand side, I'm pretty sure.
First one to go to the right on this.
Yeah, that's probably the way it's going to go.
Who have we got here? See, Villarreal have used up most of their confident takers. And I go, well, Danny Parejo's a good man, but after Danny Parejo, I don't really back many of them.
This is tense. I'm feeling tense, and I don't even care.
Me too. Here we go. Danny Parejo steps up, and he. What is David De Gea?
Oh my.
Like, I know it's harder than it looks. But is he trying to reflex that? Yeah, he is. He waited. He waited until it had gone in.
He just had it too quickly. It's
not a good one for David De Gea there.
Alberto who's United's last penalty taker then?
A lot of pressure here, surely, on Cavani. Yep, on Cavani.
Oh,
there's one man based on form and everything that you would want to be taking this. It probably is Cavani.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Putting in, but here we go. Yes, he puts it in comfortably.
Nice. Same corner.
Absolutely.
Do you mind pausing your penalties for like 2 seconds? Literally 2 seconds. In fact, 1.
Done. There you go.
All right. You were just slightly like in front. As in you were saying it was in just as he was kicking it for me.
Confident penalty from our Cavani.
Very, very confident indeed. So who's this now? I can't even. So now United have the advantage because they're like, they know
Not
what
really, though. Not really. Moy Gomez puts it in.
Oh, straight down the middle.
There we are.
If that's twice if they hadn't moved, he would have saved it. I'm telling you.
Villarreal are being very professional with this, getting the job done. Moy Gomez, decent enough wee player.
I don't know. I feel like United are going to flake out here.
Who have we got coming up for United? That's the question.
Imagine being there and being,
Fred.
it's Fred. Oh no.
This is a
I don't know
nervy
about
one.
this, folks. He didn't think he was going to have to take a penalty either, so,
Here we go. Fred steps up. Oh, lovely
what a penalty that is.
A lovely penalty. First one to the right as well. And he does it brilliantly. One of the first left-footed players. I think Tellus is left-footed as well. This is so intense, and I don't even care. Adam says in the chat. He's absolutely
the keeper
right.
was close as well. Oh, Adam said the same thing. This is so intense that I don't even care.
Absolutely.
I'm the same. Although I would have a bit of like, I want the English teams to do well because I support a nobody team. So I don't have that like.
Here he comes.
Oh, the best groomed man of football, apart from Olivier Giroud.
There we go.
Oh, get out! What a penalty! That's so calm.
Composure. But now this is where I think United start to shake a little bit.
Oh, totally, 100%.
100%. Sure. Maybe Luke Shaw to step up.
It's going to be a good evening, I think, for Villarreal.
Not a good showing for keepers. This penalty shootout by any means.
Is that Dan James?
Young Daniel. Here he comes.
Oh, it's in.
Fair play to the lad. Fair play to him. It's another good pen.
Why do I feel nervous? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Penalties just do this to people. That's a lovely pen, just composed.
We haven't seen a single penalty shootout in any of the European competitions yet, I don't think. So this is the first one in this season in either the Europa League or the Champions League.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Everybody can roast me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure you're all right. Here we go. Francis Coughlin. It would be fitting if he was to
Oh my goodness! What the flip? He took a risk there.
He has taken a risk. He probably mishit it, knowing him, the average player.
Let's see this.
Oof.
Oh.
It's always rising, that.
What's a
great pen, though.
Yeah. Who's up? Not surely this is going to be like Luke Shaw or someone, Lindelof or something. Luke Shaw. I think after this, United are friggin'. I think Villarreal are going to win this. I do. I think Villarreal are going to win.
Just screwed.
Oh my goodness! What the heck?
That is horrendous goalkeeping. He will be kicking himself because that was a terrible penalty. That was such a bad penalty. Shaw hits it straight along the ground, not even quickly either. Is the ball soaking or something? Like, what is going on?
I think it's been pouring down.
It does look
like
it.
Why has he not saved that, Adam? That's a great question. That was shocking.
So
they're all like, "Oh, my guy."
The hair's going for the mind games.
They've been doing that all night. But here's the thing: for United, it's their two centre backs, and then it's De Gea to take a penalty. So
But it's the same really with Villarreal. Here we go.
Don't even know who this is.
Oh, great pen again.
I'm telling you what, that's 3 times. If he doesn't move, De Gea, he saves 3 penalties straight down the middle. They've gone 3 times.
Mario Gaspar, an experienced player, manages to put that away. Not a great pen. De Gea's been really annoying.
So it's Lindelof or Tuanzebe. Lindelof has experience. Tuanzebe does not.
Tuanzebe very good technically though.
Is it Tuanzebe? It is as well.
It is.
Oh my days. Oh mate,
There we
I'd be
go.
glad if he misses just for him. He steps up. Oh, lovely penalty.
These
Lovely
are
penalty.
not like the Europa League final penalties. These are like just down the park with your mates. Like
Oh,
the way they're hitting the ball, everybody seems so chill.
that's a
Like
great
that's just
penalty as well.
side footed beautifully into the right hand side.
Fantastic
Alan
penalty.
Diallo crosses himself. He is buzzing. Here we go. This is going to be Pau Torres for penalty number 10. There's been 18 scored penalties.
Not a single missed penalty, guys. Not a single missed penalty.
Oh, there's Mikey in the chat. Don't worry, Mikey. Great to have you here now as we
Mikey, don't
finish
you
up the
worry,
game
mate.
with penalties. Pau Torres steps up.
Oh, oh my goodness! What the heck?
Great pen. What a great pen. See, advantage is definitely Villarreal here. So what do we have? Lindelof.
Lindelof and then keepers.
Wow. Oh, now my stream's died. RB.
I think the whole. Oh, we're back. Yeah, it's Lindelof. I think he's going to miss. I'm going to call it early. I think he's going to miss. Although I'm sure they were practicing their penalties all week, but I think he's going to miss.
I'm sure they were. I'm sure the commentators are
Lindelof
saying that as well.
steps up.
Here we go.
Oh, what a pen! Oh my goodness. 10-10.
The Swede.
It's time for the keepers. It's time for the keepers, as Adam has said here. Goalies. My
What
day.
is this?
Unbelievable.
What is this?
Unbelievable.
10 all.
Not a single missed penalty. Every single player has scored their penalty. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in my life. Oh, it's keepers.
Here we go.
Oh
Really?
my goodness.
De Gea? Oh, I don't back
So
De Gea.
nerve-wracking. He steps up. Oh, what a pen!
Oh, that's a superb penalty.
The fans like.
Oh my
These lads will
word.
finish up soon. I have Corey to watch. Well, like, imagine if we had waited to the end of this game to record a podcast. We've decided not to because it's flipping. Oh, De Gea.
He's just
Does he have the
stuck his
ball?
laces through that one.
Does he have a bottle? De Gea looks to the ref, looks up, looks back.
Oh my days.
Keeper.
I'm so nervous.
Keeper. De Gea. Oh, he's missed!
Oh, that's it.
Villarreal have won. Villarreal have won the Europa League. Villarreal have won the Europa League.
Oh my days.
I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again. What the flip has just happened?
Wow. That was an 11-10 penalty shootout in the Europa League final with fans back in attendance in Gdansk. That must be the most nerve-wracking experience of those fans' lives. Wow.
De Gea equals poop emoji. Well, what the heck is? I just don't believe it. Unai Emery has won yet another Europa League. Arsenal fans are going to be raging. He couldn't win a Europa League with Arsenal. He's won a Europa League everywhere else. Good evening. Good evening, all.
That was nuts.
Mental.
I don't even know what to say after that penalty shootout. It's taken anything away from the game in general. I can't really believe it's happened. Wow. So that means Villarreal get Champions League football next season, despite finishing 7th in La Liga. They finished 7th in La Liga. Emery masterclass. Should Arsenal have sacked him? Yes, they should have.
Yes, they should have.
I think they should also sack Arteta. But that's another debate. As we approach the hour mark of us being live with our live stream reactions of the Europa League. Final live in Gdansk. Joe, let's briefly touch for a few minutes on the game in general and what the game was like. A game that didn't disappoint, I don't think, in terms of general quality. I thought it was going to be more boring. Wasn't expecting quite as much. But what a penalty shootout as well. Joe, what did you think of the game?
Scrappy, ferocious. They weren't afraid to put the tackle in. A more entertaining final than the FA Cup final, I think. not quite the same type of game, but I think there was more to it, a bit more spice, a bit more flair.
Yeah.
I think maybe on reflection, United have both teams have been lucky to score. I think a draw, when you think about it, really is a fair result after that extra time period where Villarreal absolutely dominated. So one of those things, but yeah, um, I think people are now going to question Solskjaer and his lack of substitutions and all that kind of thing. I think that's going to come into question. But yeah, I don't. Apart from that, I don't know. I think I'm I'm now very tired after those penalties, and they've taken away from the game. You're right; they've taken away from. It's hard to think about that whenever all you think about is, oh my days, we just saw 22 penalties and only one was missed, and that was the penalty that lost United the Europa League.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. It was a good game, all things considered. Villarreal set up defensively like they did in the second leg against Arsenal. In the semi-final, set up defensively like they do in most games. And it worked, all things considered. Going 1-0 up was a massive advantage for them because they knew then we don't need to get anything. We can just sit back. We're unlucky to concede in the manner that they did. Cavani did well to finish in a scrappy corner situation, but then held on. Um, Mikey asks there in the chat, do you see Ollie keeping the job? I do personally,
Yeah,
but if I'm United, there's a lot of decent enough managers out there now. Conte's just won the league at Inter. Even the Lille manager has just left Lille and is potentially looking at going at Lyon or Nice. Nuno Espirito Nuno. I'll just say I can't remember exactly how to say
Santos.
his three names.
Uh,
I can't remember if it's Sanchez or Santos. I think it's Santos. But it's always a tongue twister anyway. He's out there. Frank Lampard's out there. Why not? Adam seems to love Nuno there in the chat. But there's a few decent managers along with Allegri still available. I reckon Ancelotti could be pried away from Everton if he tried hard enough as well. There's a lot of decent enough managers, and would now be the perfect time to get rid of Solskjaer and get somebody more experienced in? Potentially.
yeah,
Do they have the balls to do it? I'm not sure.
I think tonight for me has shown Solskjaer's ineptitude. Um, he didn't make a single sub until like the second half of extra time or something, or the late on the first half, um, which I think is crazy. Um, we cannot take away from the job that he has done, though, uh, this season. As I mentioned earlier, at the end of last season, there was 33 points between United and the team in first place in the Premier League. This season, it was down to 12, so that's a 21 point difference. Now you could argue, yes, that the team that finished top got far less points, but everybody performed differently, and United managed to perform better this season. A lot of teams performed worse. United did better, unbeaten away from home. He has achieved a lot. He's bottled it a good bit. He's a bit like Brendan Rodgers in that sense. They bottled essentially a cup final against Leipzig in the group stage of the Champions League to go into the Europa League. They then managed to get him a good run in the Europa League. They were very convincing in that semi-final against AC Milan. No, it wasn't. It was Roma. AC Milan was the round before. Was it the round before or 2 rounds before? Um, they were very convincing there. But then tonight, they were the better team. Don't get me wrong, but also Villarreal were very well organised at the back. Played a very good park the bus game. So Emery has once again Emery'd the Europa League, and Villarreal will be in the Champions League alongside Manchester United next season. And that, that's it really. I don't think he should go, but I do get your point, Luke. Of there are people available now, who they might go. That's a better manager than Ollie is, which would be slightly disrespectful, but also kind of understandable at the same time.
Yeah. As things stand, pot 2 of the Champions League next year looks unbelievably good. There's, Barca, Real, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, Sevilla are all in pot 2. It's going to be a lot of groups of death, as they say, it seems, which is quite exciting. So I look forward to that. Mikey says here he thinks it would be harsh for Solskjaer to get sacked. Another year of winning nothing would be raising questions. Yes, absolutely. I'd be curious to see what Solskjaer could do with a bit more financial backing, a few more signings of his choice, especially with Woodward leaving. It could be quite an interesting summer for all things United. If you want to hear a lot of our thoughts about the game, feel free to watch or listen back to the stream because we did kind of chat about the game in general during extra time. So it's good to listen back to. We don't talk about the actual game that much. So if you want to hear in-depth thoughts, maybe on Villarreal's pressing game, United's poor efforts in the final third, and our general thoughts about the Europa League final 2021, do listen back to the podcast or watch back the stream. Joe, anything you want to talk about before we get wrapped up? Any final thoughts about the show or about the game?
No, the only thing I really want to mention is what we're going to do on Saturday. The plan will be that we'll go live to record a podcast after the game, should it go 90 minutes. However, once again, if it goes to extra time, I think we have really no other choice than to go live during extra time and chat about it then, with then the possibility of maybe doing a Sunday night podcast. Because then if we do a live reaction show, these won't go out as podcasts. So we'll need to think about that. But apart from that, really, we'll be back Saturday night, Champions League final, immediately after or during extra time. They're the kind of 2 times. So it'll be pretty much 10 o'clock regardless is when we'll go live for an hour. And then we'll see what happens with the podcast, whether or not it is a podcast show or not. But yeah, really that's it for us. Thank you guys for joining us and for watching those penalties with us and getting involved. And it was something a bit different. We will be back to normal service once these European finals are over. It's just trying to get timings in with shows and stuff can be a bit more awkward. But we'll be back with proper shows again from next week. So these are just one-offs. But yeah, Luke, thank you for agreeing to do a different type of show with me.
My absolute pleasure. Enigma, as always. Happy to please.
It's not official because it's not like your official name on the screen, obviously. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this setup here. This layout is going to be our new thing. This is going to be how we look now on every show. As some walk junks could be laughing during the Euros, and that's something I was going to float out potentially at some stage, doing a couple of watch-alongs during the Euros because there's so many games that we'll be watching anyway. We would love to do some in-person stuff together, like where we're both in the same room, kind of. But we need to see if we can get something sorted for that. But yeah, that'll be us for now.
And Joe, never forget the problem with Arsenal is they try to walk the ball in the back of the net.
It's a disgraceful thing to say, but it is true. See you later.
See you guys later.
Bye.